Imagine this. You wake up beside the same woman you've known for years. Her body is there. Her breathing sounds the same. Her hair still falls across the pillow like it always has. But something in the air has changed. You feel it before you understand it. The warmth that once filled the room has turned into silence. Not peaceful silence, but heavy, suffocating silence. You reach out to touch her shoulder, and in that small movement, you already know. She's still here, but she's already gone. Betrayal doesn't begin with another man's name. It doesn't begin with a fight or a goodbye. It begins quietly, in the space between two heartbeats. Love doesn't die in an explosion. It bleeds out slowly. They told you relationships end when someone leaves. That's the lie. The truth is, people leave long before they walk away. They stay long enough to finish killing what once kept them alive. You start to notice small things. The way she avoids eye contact when she speaks. The way her laughter sounds practiced. How her phone becomes an extra limb. Something she clings to instead of you. You convince yourself it's stress, work, life. But deep down, your gut knows. Something sacred is slipping. You start apologizing for things you didn't even do. You overthink every word. You shrink yourself, hoping she'll see you again. But the more you bend, the less she looks. And that's how love dies. Not with rejection, but with indifference. Indifference is colder than hate. At least hate feels something. Indifference feels nothing. We grow up believing love survives through effort, through dates, through forgiveness, through trying harder. But no one talks about the invisible moments, when one heart stops fighting. No one prepares you for the day she looks at you the same way she looks at furniture. Familiar, necessary, emotionless. You think if she's still here, you're safe. You're not. Her body stays because leaving is hard. But her mind started leaving months ago. Every "I'm fine," every distracted nod, every fake smile, another shovel of dirt on the grave of what you built together. You don't see it happening. You tell yourself it's just a phase. You try to fix it. But love doesn't vanish in one fight. It dies through repetition, through every moment when one person stops being seen. All emotions obey the same law as the universe. Everything tends toward decay. She once looked at you and saw a world of possibility. Now she only sees routine. Familiarity becomes blindness. And blindness becomes indifference. You can't argue with entropy. You can't reason with a dying spark. When love begins to fade, the mind protects itself. It rewrites the story. She remembers the fights, not the laughter, the disappointments, not the gestures. Every memory bends toward a version that makes her distance feel justified. She was never happy. She was pretending all along. It's not truth. It's her brain defending itself from guilt. And you hold on to the good moments, because hope is your drug. You replay them like an old movie, trying to change the ending. But no edit can bring back a character who's already left the scene. She didn't stop loving you just because of you. She stopped loving because she stopped loving herself. In your reflection. In long relationships, we become mirrors. And when someone looks in the mirror and doesn't like what they see, they blame the mirror. But here's the darker truth. Sometimes both mirrors break. Sometimes both people lose themselves. Slowly, quietly, politely. Maybe she felt unseen. Maybe you did too. Instead of confronting the void, you both built routines to avoid it. Neglect is louder than words. It screams in silence. In the way her eyes don't meet yours at dinner. In how your compliments sound like apologies. Love dies in silence long before it dies in betrayal. Emotional distance triggers the same pain centers as physical wounds. That's why her silence hurts like being stabbed. Your body reacts, heart racing, mind spinning, searching for logic where there is none. You chase closeness, she avoids it. Each step you take forward pushes her farther away. Because once someone decides to detach, intimacy feels like pressure, and pressure makes them run. Her coldness isn't cruelty, it's defense. The colder she gets, the safer she feels from guilt. And you keep burning yourself trying to warm what's already gone cold. Every love has one silent night when it dies. No shouting, no tears, just a breath that sounds normal, but marks the end. You don't notice it then. You remember it later, the stillness, the way her hand didn't reach back. That's the night she killed the love, not out of hate, but because keeping it alive felt like drowning. Betrayal isn't the act of leaving. It's the decision to stop caring long before goodbye. And that decision is always invisible, until it's irreversible. At first, you'll rage. You'll search for answers. You'll blame her. You'll look for another man. But eventually, you'll realize something worse. She didn't need anyone else. She just needed to feel alive again. And you reminded her of everything she'd lost inside herself. That realization hurts more than any confession, because it forces you to see how fragile love really is. Two people's self-images, held together by a shared illusion. When one stops believing, the illusion breaks. But that's where awakening begins. When you understand that love isn't guaranteed by time, you stop begging for permanence. You start noticing. You stop asking, why did she change? And start asking, when did I stop seeing it happen? Here's the secret most never face. The end of love isn't tragedy, it's transformation. You think something died, but in truth, something inside you is trying to be born. Every heartbreak burns away the parts of you that lived through illusion, and what's left is awareness. It's not soft, it's not comforting, but it's real. You'll start to see the patterns, the small withdrawals, the subtle silences. You'll see how people perform love long after they've stopped feeling it. And that vision, that brutal clarity, will change you forever. The mind addicted to attachment suffers endlessly, but the mind that learns to witness finds peace. You can't control when someone leaves emotionally. You can only control how clearly you see it coming. Awareness is brutal, but it's also freedom. You learn to read silence like a language, to feel the shifts before they become betrayals, and once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. That's dark psychology, not manipulation, but understanding the hidden mechanics of emotion. Every goodbye begins as a micro-withdrawal. Every affair begins as a loss of self-connection. Every heartbreak is an awakening disguised as pain. She didn't kill the love to hurt you. She killed it to survive herself. And now, you must survive yourself too. Grief will tell you to shut down, to harden, to never feel again. Don't. Numbness is just another escape. Feel everything, the confusion, the rage, the silence. That's how your brain rewires itself for truth. When the storm finally ends, you'll realize this. You were never betrayed when she left. You were betrayed the moment you refused to see the signs. Love isn't stolen, it's surrendered. One heartbeat at a time, and somewhere beyond that pain, beyond all the ruins and noise, you'll feel something small but real, a pulse, your own. That's the moment rebirth begins. Not with someone else, but with yourself. And when you stand alone in that quiet room, looking at the place she used to be, remember this. She's still there in your memories, but she's already gone from your story. And that's okay, because now, for the first time, the story belongs entirely to you. If these words hit you, don't look away. This is just the beginning. We'll go deeper into the mind, the heart, the dark side of human connection. Subscribe, Because truth doesn't heal you. It wakes you up.